Alright guys, I'm going to show you a little trick how to get more capacity out of your Mossberg 590s. You can do this with any of the 590 series shockwaves, any of them that have this, they have the fixed magazine tube without an extension. So if you want to get one extra shell in these guns, so like this 590 20 gauge, this is they consider this a 6+1 7-shot, and then it would be 5+1 with 3-inch the way it comes. So the way these come, they have this retainer piece in there. This isn't really needed unless you plan on like putting a plug in there or something, but just remove this spring retainer so that way your spring can come out. And you're going to need to do that anyways to cut it, but you're going to have to cut, you're going to want to cut it, start out by just taking a couple rings at a time, but it's going to be, you're going to end up needing to take off to where your spring is sticking out about 5 to 6 inches, I would say, past the magazine tube when it's fully seated. These guns from the factory come with an insane amount of spring tension on them. Like, it actually makes it a lot harder to load the gun. So that's another thing too, to make it faster to load, just doing this modification. But if you just cut, or just removing this and then just allowing your spring to sit in the cap, so that way the spring has that extra like inch of room, that will actually give you 6+1 with both 2 3/4 and 3-inch. So if you don't want to cut the spring, you can do that just to gain that extra 3-inch capacity. But let me tighten this up real quick. You can actually get these to 7+1 with just that simple little trick. You cut that spring down to like I showed you, and the main thing is you want to do it a little bit at a time, put it back and test it, but you want to make sure that first shell has enough tension. So that's going to be your last shell in the stack, so you want to make sure there's enough tension, which there is plenty. The best way to test that, which I can show you real quick, is tip the gun upside down. So this would be a worst case scenario. It's the shell coming out is fighting gravity, and then you want to pump it back and make sure that shell has enough tension to eject up into the carrier. So but yeah guys, let's see if I can do this on camera. So this is, once I took the retainer out, you could get like 6, and then it would go to like about there, and maybe like that. So there's plenty of room in the tube for 7 shells. The spring takes up room, so you have to get that. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's going to be, you can see there's just that little bit, and that's about perfect. You don't want it to be super tight because different shells vary in length a little bit, so you might have some trouble there, but you want to make it so there's just enough room to get that 7th one in there, so that way you have the most spring tension that you can get. But yeah guys, a little trick there. 7 plus 1 now. So take a 7 shot gun to an 8 shot pretty easy. Thanks, guys.